world of wrestling has experienced tragedy. The wrestling industry is in complete shock over the unexpected death of Antian Long, the adored son of WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. However, Teddy's emotional collapse captured on camera is what has admirers in a state of shock. You will be haunted by what he said during his homage. Even more tragic is what we've learned about Antian's last moments. Remain with us. They didn't want this narrative to be told. Pain both inside and outside the ring is nothing new to the wrestling community. This time, however, the tragedy strikes close to home in the most intimate way possible. Every parent's worst nightmare is currently being experienced by WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long, the legendary general manager and former SmackDown face. The untimely death of his cherished son Antian Long was a tragedy that began quietly but has since rocked the wrestling world and its followers everywhere. We're delving deeply into the startling circumstances surrounding Antian Long's premature death in this video. You'll learn about the heartfelt remembrances that have been circulating on social media, the video of Teddy Long sobbing, and the heartfelt remarks he made that are currently being cited online. That's not all though. Additionally, we'll share rare behind-the-scenes responses from other WWE superstars like Mark Henry, Booker T, and even a statement from Vince McMahon's team. Indeed, there is a little-known fact regarding Antian's life. This tragedy is now even more heartbreaking because of something. Don't click away because this narrative just becomes more poignant as it progresses. And believe me when I say that Teddy's remarks at his son's private memorial forever altered the way that fans viewed him. While his father Teddy Long rose to fame in the professional wrestling industry by running arenas, overseeing WWE legends and creating memorable promos, Antian Long took a different route, leading a more sedate and private life. But according to others who knew him well, his influence was equally potent. Antian did not compete in wrestling. He never yearned for the attention, the flashes of the camera, or the thunderous applause of a WWE audience. Rather, he centered his life on family, service, a modest business career, and mentoring young people. Located in Georgia, he was well known in his neighborhood for being a kind person who frequently made anonymous donations to regional causes, participated with church youth programs, and set up mentorship camps for at-risk youngsters. According to his buddies, he was a man with strong beliefs but few words, devoted, gentle, and full of inner power. He proudly bore the burden of being the son of a legendary wrestler, but he never took advantage of his father's notoriety. The majority of those who encountered him were actually unaware of his father's identity, and Antian wanted it just that way. He didn't want attention, according to a close friend. Even if he never received recognition, he merely wished to have an impact. Antian took his position as a father more seriously than anything else. He was not merely a father to his children. He served as a provider, coach, counselor, and guardian. He frequently used Teddy's well-known slogan, "Now hold on a minute, playa," according to those close to the Long family. When his children misbehaved, he would make them laugh and remind them of their wrestling heritage. However, those closest to him realized that he had been quietly struggling in recent years beneath the smiles and service. According to reports, Antian had been coping with a number of unreported health issues in addition to the psychological effects of family members passing away. He didn't want to disturb his father or disturb the tranquility around him, so he kept it all to himself. Because no one anticipated his unexpected death, it is what made the news of his untimely death even more sad. According to reports, Teddy, who is renowned for his poise and fortitude on screen, was caught off guard and had no idea how rapidly his son's condition had deteriorated. However, what took place the night Antian died? Furthermore, what was Teddy Long doing at that precise time? In the following portion, we'll go over those last several hours. Moreover, what transpired at 2:37 a.m. Teddy froze in shock that morning. It was a calm Tuesday night. Nothing unusual. According to reports, Antian Long was going to bed early after wrapping up a phone conversation with his cousin. Close family acquaintances reported that there were no outward indications of a problem. Earlier that day, he had even sent a brief word of hope on his private Facebook page which said, "I'm thankful for today. I know God has me no matter what tomorrow brings." Those words now seem almost eerie in retrospect. Neighbors said they heard gentle gospel music coming from his house at approximately 10:15 p.m., which is something he frequently did to relax. He had appeared a little more contemplative than normal, but nothing concerning, according to a buddy who had spoken with him earlier that afternoon. In order to give his father a memorable moment, he even discussed wanting to organize a surprise for Father's Day. Then 2:37 a.m. arrived. A 911 call was put at that precise moment, and paramedics were sent to Antio's residence. The official report stated that a family member found him unconscious after he had collapsed in his bedroom. Although the specifics are kept confidential, people close to the Long family say that a major cardiac event is thought to be the most likely cause. Upon arrival, Antion was declared dead. The heartbreaking story of the family member who discovered him has chosen to stay anonymous. The scene is described as sorrowful yet serene. Antion was lying motionless with the same gospel music playing gently in the background, seemingly dozing off. There were no evidence of struggle or medical equipment. Everything came to a halt when Teddy Long received the news a few hours later. According to reports, the WWE Hall of Famer was getting ready to attend a fan gathering that same week. However, he recounted the moment he received the phone as a shrieking scream that was followed by a startled quiet. He took charge of everything. On social media, he stopped talking. He didn't text back. Teddy Long stayed totally out of the spotlight for 48 hours. Teddy is always the strong one, the leader, the encourager, the guy who holds everyone else together, according to an individual close to the family. However, he broke this time. He broke completely, and the wrestling community wasn't the only one who noticed. According to reports, Teddy's closest friends, including professional wrestlers Mark Henry and Ron Simmons, traveled out to be with him right away. According to some accounts, Vince McMahon even sent a personal condolence message, which is uncommon outside of formal WWE protocol. The most poignant detail, though, is this. Teddy Long requested one thing before he spoke to the media, commented on social media, or made any public remarks: to spend an hour by themselves in Antion's room without any phones, cameras, or other distractions. Family would subsequently tell what he had done in that hour. You will realize the depth of this father's love when you hear the note he left in that chamber, penned in tears. Some people find their voice in writing, prayer, or silence when the anguish is too great to express. Teddy Long's sadness over the death of his only son, Antion, was too great to deal with in public at this time. Teddy took one action before the cameras, the memorials, or even the funeral preparations started. He entered Antion's room, shut the door, and sat by himself while thinking about his kid. There was not a sound from the chamber for more than an hour. Holding hands in prayer, family members waited outside in silence. Still filled with gospel music CDs, framed photos of his kids, and an old SmackDown poster Teddy had signed for fun years before. It was the same room where Antion had spent his last moments. There was only sorrow and a father's heartache in that room now. Teddy eventually came out with a folded piece of paper in his palm and tears streaming down his cheeks. He was silent for a moment. This piece of paper, a hurriedly scrawled, tear-stained letter, would later be read aloud during Antion's memorial ceremony. He simply handed the message to his brother and asked, "If I can't speak at the funeral, read this for me." No one in the building was uninterested when it happened. Teddy Long wrote the following: "You were the greatest thing I have ever done, Tion. My pride, my heart, and my kid. I was just your father before the spotlight, the Hall of Fame ring, the lights, and the cameras. And I never required a title other than that. You weren't noisy, you weren't ostentatious. But son, you were powerful, more powerful than I am, more powerful than most men I've met. I have grandchildren from you. I laughed at you. You brought me tranquility. I may never understand why God took you so quickly, but I do know one thing. I don't know how I'm going to get through this life without hearing you say, 'Hey Pops,' one more time. Sleep well, my boy. I'll see you again in paradise." Your father, Theodore Teddy Long, said, "I'll carry your name with me every step, every day, and every ring I ever walk into from now on. You made me proud. You made me better. You made me a parent." Teddy sat in the front pew, his head in his hands, trembling while his brother read the letter aloud throughout the service. Behind him sat friends and fellow wrestlers, including Booker T. Ron Simmons, JBL, and even Rikishi, who were all clearly moved. Even the family was taken aback by what transpired after the letter. Teddy got to his feet, went to the coffin, and silently handed Antio one of his valuable WWE Hall of Fame rings. Yes, the exact ring that was given to him in recognition of his lifetime of wrestling efforts. He had never worn it outside of special events and had always kept it hidden. His son now has the ring, which was a symbolic gesture that said a lot. He muttered, "It's yours now," to the coffin. "You earned this more than I did." A family friend captured the scene on camera, and it went viral after being shared online. Thousands of wrestling enthusiasts shared it, with many commenting, "I never knew Teddy Long as a father. I'll never forget it now." Despite the immense pain, Teddy had one desire above all others: for his son to be known for his life rather than his death. This leads us to the events that transpired following the funeral. WWE legends and fans were rendered dumbfounded by an unforeseen moment. It is said that a person's story changes rather than ends when they pass away, and that change has grown into a strong movement for Antio Long. Despite being devastated by his loss, WWE star Teddy Long found courage in his son's memory, and made the decision to act in the weeks after his death. Teddy broke his quiet with a brief, poignant video that was uploaded to Instagram 10 days after the funeral. There was only him sitting in front of Antion's framed picture, with no background music or elegant lighting. He was trembling when he said, "Even if this is the most difficult thing I've ever experienced, I know Antion wouldn't want me to endure this. He would like me to keep going. In his honor, I'm launching an initiative that will benefit others in the same way that he did." The Antio Long Foundation was established in an instant. This memorial fund isn't like others. This non-profit organization is completely registered, operating in Georgia, and growing throughout the South, centered on three main goals that are representative of Antion's life and principles: fatherhood support and youth mentoring. Antion was a strong proponent of mentoring. He coached neighborhood sports teams, worked as a volunteer with troublesome teenagers, and always pushed for young men to have direction and meaning in life. Through weekly mentorship programs at nearby schools and churches, the charity is now matching fatherless youngsters with good male role models, many of whom were once wrestlers, athletes, or even retired WWE performers, who had a personal relationship with Teddy and Anto. Black community's awareness of cardiac health. Although Antion's cause of death has not been made public, many family members believe that a cardiac-related incident was a contributing factor. Like many others, Teddy Long also acknowledged that he didn't completely comprehend the silent dangers males face until it was too late. Therefore, the organization has started a heartstrong campaign, setting up free blood pressure checks, CPR instruction, and heart health education events in underprivileged Black communities, areas that are frequently overlooked by larger healthcare systems. Teddy stated, "My son's death won't be in vain if one life is saved as a result of what happened to him." Scholarships for children of single fathers and Tion brought humility, grace, and perseverance to the upbringing of his own children. The organization honors their journey by providing scholarships to kids raised by single fathers, a group that is frequently disregarded by assistance initiatives. Through donations, charity performances, and wrestling fans' contributions, more than $25,000 has already been raised. Prominent wrestlers including Mick Foley, Bianca Belair, and Kofi Kingston have shared the foundation link on social media and made public donations. Teddy Long has contributed so much to the business. Even Triple H, the current head of creative for WWE, wrote in a tweet, "Now is our time to give back. Rest in peace, Antion. Your legacy is only getting started." However, the most heartfelt tribute was given by Malik, a 17-year-old high school senior, who was once a student Antion mentored. Malik wore a t-shirt that read, "I am Antion's legacy," when he took the stage at a recent event. "I didn't believe in myself, so I was about to quit," he stated to the audience. "But Antion looked me in the eye and told me, 'You're more than your faults.' He altered my life, and now I'm going to college because of him. That one story is representative of dozens, perhaps hundreds, like it. You're a future man of honor. Narratives demonstrating that even after passing away, Auntie Yan Long is still uplifting people, and Teddy is now making sure that his son's spirit endures, not just in memories, but in actual tangible change, through his father's tears. However, despite the legacy's strength, there is one more aspect of the story that completes the circle. Teddy's unexpected return to the ring at the WWE tribute show, which was the first time since Auntie Yan's death. Fans didn't anticipate Teddy Long's return to WWE, but when WWE officials offered to dedicate a special segment to Auntie Yan Long's memory, Teddy didn't hesitate. What Triple H did, what the fans chanted, and what Teddy said in that ring were all unforgettable. Teddy told them, "If my son was watching, he'd want me to come. He'd want me to give the fans what they loved, and do it with a smile." And that's exactly what happened. Halfway through a special edition of Friday Night SmackDown, the arena went dark, the audience fell silent, and then Teddy Long's famous theme music suddenly began to play. Teddy emerged in a custom black and white suit with Auntie Yan's face embroidered inside the lapel, and the arena erupted. It wasn't just a pop, it was a thunderous wave of respect, love and nostalgia that crashed into the building all at once. Fans stood up, chanted his name, and some were seen wiping tears from their eyes, knowing that this wasn't just any return, but for his son. He stood in the ring, took a deep breath, and the crowd fell silent. "Let me holla at you, playa," he said smilingly, and the crowd burst into cheers. But Teddy swiftly raised his hand to bring them back down. On his chest was a gold pin in the shape of a heart, the same design used for the Auntie Yan Long Foundation. "I'm not here to make matches tonight," he said in a different tone. "I am not here to assign someone to a tag match. As a father, I'm here. A dad who lost his kid." Teddy Long repressed his tears and talked from the heart for the next 3 minutes. On live television, he called Auntie Yan the best part of himself, thanked the WWE community for their support, and announced the Auntie Yan Long Foundation's creation. Then, however, came the newsworthy moment. Teddy took Aunt's old dog tag, which he had kept as a memento for years, out of his pocket. He put it on the turnbuckle, glanced up toward the rafters, and muttered, "This one's for you, son." WWE illuminated the arena with a huge screen that read, "In loving memory of Auntie Yan Long 1987 to 2025, without uttering a word. The crowd repeatedly chanted, "Thank you, Auntie Yan." Referees, producers, and wrestlers backstage were allegedly crying as they watched the tribute monitor. According to sources, Teddy received special hugs from Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, and even Randy Orton following the performance. The video became viral on Twitter. The comments were filled with admirers from all around the world, many of whom had never heard of Auntie Yan before. It didn't matter if you were famous. Auntie Yan was important. Teddy Long just served as a reminder of what true love looks like. The terrible untimely death of Auntie Yan Long began as a tragedy, but has since evolved into a living legacy of fortitude, kindness, and purpose. Teddy Long revealed to us the father behind the fame, and the soul behind the mythology through his anguish. He served as a reminder that every wrestling legend is a real person with genuine suffering, love, and sorrow. And this legacy will keep inspiring through the foundation, the WWE tribute, and every life that Auntie Yan's tale touches. We say thank you instead of merely farewell today. I appreciate you leading a purposeful life, Auntie Yan. Teddy, we appreciate you teaching us what a father's heart looks like. And we appreciate the wrestling family reminding us that we are not alone, even when we are grieving. Please leave a tribute in the comments section below if this story touched you. Give a few words of support, your prayers, or your favorite Teddy Long story. Hit like in remembrance of Auntie Yan. Sign up for more inspiring tales from the gospel, wrestling, and other fields. And spread the word about this video so that Auntie Yan Long is never forgotten. Young King, may you rest in peace. You finished your ring walk.